Man, what's the hardest thing when you guys have the defense that you need to smother a really high octane offense, but then your offense can't get going at the same time?
Uh, I mean, I wouldn't say frustrating. I would just say it's a building block. It's a learning lesson, and you just got to figure out how when we bring our defense, bring our offense with it.
You're at that time of the season where all these games, particularly when you're playing teams that are so close to you, the standings are so important. So what's the right mindset when you have a loss where you really need it, but you just still do have an opportunity against Atlanta on Wednesday?
Yeah, I mean, we owe them one. Obviously, we go back home and play them again. So everybody get some rest, go home, be with their feelings, and come ready to rock.
Do you feel you were getting good shots and guys were just missing, or do you feel you have to work for better shots as a team, not just you?
Nah, I feel like we got great looks. We just missed, and that's the reality of basketball. Not every shot's gonna go in, and we got to figure out how we can, obviously, when we're having a bad shooting night, still get stops and still pull out a win.
A little different power rotation without Nico. You don't have three bigs in all the time, playing down a little bit. Does it feel differently? Do you guys have to play differently when it comes to the boards, protecting the glass without as much height now?
Nah, I mean, I remember when it was just me out there, so. So obviously, still having tall players still helps. For us, it's being in a collective spirit and understanding we got to get a win.
Tyler, what was the toughest thing in just trying to find some offensive flow tonight?
Just getting good looks, creating good looks. Yeah. Shit.
As it's not rolling like that, but your defense is in place, does that add to the frustration? And here you are keeping a team that scores about $120 a night, under 100, but it's at the same time that you all can't get going.
Yeah, I thought, the game was in the mud. We put ourselves in position to make a run at the end. They made more plays than us down the stretch, and they won the game.
While there's still time, it's not a lot. And so you still have another game against them coming up. You still have 20-plus games. Still is the spirit and feeling still in the right place to make the push here coming up over the last stretch of the season?
Yeah. I don't think anything changed. Obviously, we're not where we want to be. We got to continue to fight. We go home for a couple games. We got to win those and just continue to build off that.
Was the shot quality there, not just you, but the entire team? In other words, do you feel you're getting the right shots and just didn't make them today, or do you think this offense might need some tweaks to get better looks?
I don't know. I mean, I thought we got good shots. We just got to make shots. Second night of a back-to-back, it's not going to be perfect. Both teams can make shots, really. It was low scoring all the way through the third, halfway through the fourth, and I thought once we started doubling Trae Young, we played right into their hands, got us in rotations, got whatever they wanted, and then we were fighting on the other end to create good looks. But, obviously the pressure ramps up on the defensive end or on the offensive end if we're not getting stops. We didn't get any stops, so we had to figure out ways to score.
Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Seemed like good looks to go in.
I mean, I feel like we got a lot of good looks, but it's part of the game. Sometimes, some games you're not gonna knock down shots, and you rely on your defense. I feel like our defense was solid too, but it didn't work out. But we play them again in a couple days, so.
It's almost like the spirit you have to have, right, at this particular time when things aren't going the way you want them to. But Spose talked about the spirit's right, that the offense is trending, even though maybe the results aren't there. Yeah. Can you ride that energy here in the beginning of March, and hopefully it turns?
Oh, for sure. For sure. With the NBA, you got to have a, short-term memory, on to the next game. And, we believe in ourselves. The coaches believe in us, and we know what we can do. So.
Coach said that after the game. He was very emotional. He goes, we know what the results are, but he still feels it. He was passionate about that after the game. Can you sense it that if you sort of pull the different good things together in one game and several games that the turnaround could be at hand?
No, for sure. Our defense was there tonight. We didn't shoot the ball great, but we got a lot of good looks. We were sharing the ball. We played hard. It didn't work out in our favor. but we feel it.
You're finding your way a little bit more day by day. Was today another step forward, even in a loss? Do you sort of feel, okay, finding my place?
For sure, every game, every game you learn more. Every game is a lesson. So, you learn, you move on, and you get better.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Obviously, the offense, the
Yeah.
missed shots. Was it
Yep.
the sets or just the misses?
I don't know. Real time, I thought those were open looks. I mean, there were a couple. You're not going to get wide open looks all the way through. Those were the open shots. We make a handful more of those. It looks totally different. Our guys really competed tonight. Laid it all out there defensively. It wasn't easy, but we were scrambling. They just put up almost 150 last night, holding them basically to, under 100. But you do have to score. There's a reality to that. I want our guys, playing with confidence. There's, some good plays to generate those open looks. It just looked like we had a lid on the rim. We could not knock down, some of the open ones. Even, the guys are better shooters on the team. But you just have to stay with it. We're closer than what it feels, and that's the hard part.
Obviously, Tyler's not going to give you 40 every night. He's going to have an off night. Is there a pathway if Tyler is off to still find a way with this offense and this roster right now?
Well, we'll have to do whatever's necessary. We cycled through a lot of things in our menu, tonight. I'll have to look at it, but for the most part, we took some where they sped us up and challenged us, but there were some open looks. That our guys shoot at a high percentage. We're a very good open 3-point shooting team. And then they were packing the paint, so those were the plays that were open.
The thought process on Alec Burks and even Jaime to a limited degree over Terry instead.
Yeah, it's just one of those things right now. We're searching. That's not an indictment on anybody necessarily. I feel for the guys that haven't been able to play. Jaime, the couple games before this, and Terry. It's not anyone's fault. We're all in this together, but. We do need to find something. So I'll continue to use the depth of our roster however we feel like we need.
Your thoughts also on Kyle stepping in for Nikola in that role?
Yeah, he gave some really good minutes. Played, probably a handful more minutes than I anticipated, but he was doing some really good things out there. He's a smart player. He really helps you defensively just with his IQ. His playmaking, his rebounding, and offensively, he helped generate some open looks, with his ability to pass.
And on a night when no one else could, Andrew gave you basically all he could give you. Just your thoughts on his perseverance of finding a way that it still was a 6-point game late.
Yeah, there were 3 or 4 of those. We that call with Kyle Anderson goes a different way. All of a sudden, that looks differently. Then we had it to 6 and hit the corner jumper, 3 immediately to 9. Before that, we started to get this thing back, or at least within striking distance. And Capella got the offensive rebound, the double tip. So there were 3 or 4 of those swing plays that you have to get. And I thought this had a chance to be just a really gratifying win, just in the mud, ugly. To be able to prove that you can win a game on the road without making shots at your normal level. But we weren't able to do it, so we just got to get back to Miami. So the group is great. The intentions are great. We just need to put together a game plan and get this one on Wednesday.
What's going on, Coach? Good to see you. It seems like both teams were around the same in turnovers, but Atlanta was the fortunate team in being able to score in transition. You said there was a lead around the team, and you said they were close. What is the feeling around the team after a game like this?
Our group is very resilient. And look, what you need right now, you need an incredible amount of stubbornness. You got to be stubborn. You absolutely got to be stubborn. and persistent in what we're trying to do. We're not getting the result we want, but there's things that are trending in a better direction. You got to quiet all the noise. You got to just not listen to anything, not read anything, but that's just the deal right now. We're closer than what it feels like. We're putting this thing together like quickly, and sometimes it doesn't happen just like that. But are you building the right habits and building the right trends, through the adversity? The head coach feels that we are, and so you got to be stubborn. You got to put your head down and collectively be stubborn-minded about this until we start, generating some wins. All right? Thank you.